Hey, how's it going? This is Josh from Books by Josh, and I want to welcome you to episode number 10 of the Books by Josh show. This episode is titled Changes. Yep, the same title as the famous Tupac song. This week's episode of the podcast was inspired by two recent events that happened to me. So, like always, let's dive in. Changes is such a broad topic, okay? But in today's episode, I'll be touching on the major changes, okay? As many of you who have followed my blog, my YouTube channel for a while, know I walked away from my job of over 3 years last year, September, to write my book, and work on my own stuff. Well, a couple months ago, I joined the workforce again. Let's just start by saying I'm no longer part of the workforce. I walked away from that job because of everything that's going on in my life with my father and my own business. So I actually am doing freelance and stuff like that. I'm focusing back on my business and I'm working on a new book. Actually, two books. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I love working, but I had no time there. My father in the hospital, I worked a minimum of 40 hours a week and I was commuting over 30 hours a week. That's 70 plus hours every week. Okay? So right now it's time for me to build my business again to another level. Okay? So, like I said, that's a major change. Okay? I turned down a job for IT position making good money just this week also because for the past 15 years I've been working in the traditional sense and I still haven't achieved my goals. So right now I have to be in total control of my time and this is the only way for me to do that. Okay? So don't you go start submitting your 2 week notice for work, okay? I'm not telling anyone to quit their job and pursue a dream. Okay? I'm doing it for personal and financial reasons, but this is after taking a look at it and sitting down and thinking, okay? It's a major change. Some major changes are bad, such as a death, but there's other ones that you can think of as positive if you put a different spin to it. Like getting fired from a job can actually be positive. It sounds crazy, I know, but listen to this. I've worked with people in the past who said the best thing that ever happened to them was getting fired from a job because it led them to the right career path. Look at Mark Cuban. Because he was fired from his job selling software, he started his first major business, and now he's a billionaire, right? So let me talk to you about the second event that made me think about this topic of change, okay? I just attended one of my younger siblings' graduation, and I'm talking about college graduation, and my mind began to wander, okay? Start thinking about the road that lied ahead of this graduating class, okay? For over the past 16 years, these students have known nothing other than school. I already know that many of you right now are disagreeing with this statement, okay? You're probably going to say that students have part-time jobs, this and that. This is true, but almost all college students' main focus is to graduate college, okay? All graduating college kids will have to go through one of the first major changes of their life, which is shifting their mindset, okay? For most of their lives, they were put in confined areas and told what to do. Now they're out in the world and have free will, if you think about it. Most of them have no clue what they will do in life, but that's a good thing, okay? Most of us had no clue what we wanted to do in life and look at how we turned out, right? Okay? Changes are inevitable, guys. And most of the time, like I said, change is good. Okay? Critics said the invention of the telephone will ruin civilization, but we're still here. Okay? There's so many things that people want to say about changes that make it bad. Okay, Y2K, the internet's gonna crash everything. None of that happened, guys. It's honestly Chicken Little. Okay? Because of changes in the way we communicate, we are able to video chat with someone across the world in seconds, okay? Like I said, people hate the changes that the internet brought, okay? But we should praise the internet for what it's done for us. People say it took away jobs. It's true, but it made more jobs, more careers. Think about it. The internet has revolutionized the way we live life. Okay? All this technology, iPhones, this and that, powered by the internet. If you think about it, internet took away jobs. Yes, most people are buying online, but you have more people becoming successful from online. Okay? Evan Spiegel, you guys know who he is? Well, he's the CEO and founder of Snapchat. And at the age of 25, he became the youngest billionaire in the history of the world. Why? Because the internet's there, guys. Okay? Like I said, changes. It's just based on perspective. If you think of it as a bad thing, it's going to be a bad thing. But just think about it, guys, for once. Think about all the changes you think are bad and just list up the pros and cons, okay? So that pretty much wraps up this episode of Books by Joshua. This episode, like I said, was inspired by recent events in my life. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to subscribe. If you hate it, oh well. But for those of you who loved it or liked it, if you want more content like this, feel free to visit my site, which is booksbyjosh.com, of course. Also, check out our YouTube channel by searching Books by Josh. To find out the latest updates, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Books by Josh and Facebook's at Books by Josh R. If you wish to support us, you can tell your friends about our show, or you can become a Patreon via patreon.com/booksbyjosh. And like always, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.